Good morning, true crime friends. How are we doing this morning? You got your coffee? You ready to go? You ready for some gossip, child? Listen, you want gossip? I have gossip for you. Yesterday, we got a verdict. Oh, you know how I love a verdict. Oh, I love a verdict. In the case of the state of Michigan versus Beverly McCallum, we got a verdict. But you know, we have to do a quick recap of this case. Beverly McCallum was married to a whole bunch of different men. There's an entire playlist about the state of Michigan versus Beverly McCallum, and she got a bunch of dead husbands. Now, I'm not saying she's a serial killer. I'm saying she has ways likened unto that of a serial killer. Because after dealing with her, she has 4 dead husbands. Her mama died mysteriously after Beverly came to live with her, and then her son died. Child. I would not stand next to this lady on the bus. But she finally was living over there in Italy with her 5th husband, and she was like, I'm just a quiet little wife. I don't know why anybody would suspect me. First of all, if a lady has a bunch of dead husbands, a dead mom, and a dead son, how she even found out your name, sir? Why are you dating this lady? Sir, you in danger, boy, but that ain't none of my business. Anyway, let me tell you something. I suspect, I do not know for a fact, Beverly's kitty is feral. I'm telling you right now, that kitty is feral. How else is she getting all these men? Her charm, her wit, she is not great beauty. Listen, we're not supposed to talk about people's looks, but her spirit, her energy is murdery, which means by definition ugly. So she's been on the stand for the murder of Roberto Caballo, I think. That child, that's the gringo pronunciation of his name. And she clearly unalived him by pushing him down the stairs, bludgeoning him with a hammer, putting a plastic bag over his head, like a plastic grocery bag, not a reusable. Terrible. And then wrapping a rope around the plastic bag and suffocating him after he was already bludgeoned. And then she origamied him and stuffed him into a trunk. They had the trunk in court. It was a tiny trunk. How you get a man in that tiny little trunk? Child, I don't know. Maybe he was a tiny human, but she had to fold him in all different ways. Did she fold him into the shape of a swan? I don't know. Anyway, she origamied him and folded him down into a trunk, and then put the trunk in the back of her car, drove it out to a blueberry patch, justice for blueberries, and threw it in the blueberries, and then set it on fire, and then drove home. Wait, on the drive home, she threw her shoes out the window and told all her accomplices, throw your shoes out the window so nobody can track our footprints, littering. And then sat back like it was not me. And then went on to marry 2 more men. One dude is missing, one dude is alive. Anyway, so she got convicted. All of that to say, short story long, she got convicted. Here's the thing that was killing me yesterday in court. She was just like, I don't know why they would convict me. I don't know. She was using the Saudi defense. You know the Saudi defense. Some other dude did it. Not her. Girl, exactly you. Exactly you. And here's the thing that cracked me up. When she took the stand, because yes, she took the stand, and was she credible? Not at all. But she spoke in a small little whispering voice, and I was like, where does heifer from? Because she clearly has some sort of accent. I cannot identify the accent. Oh, and then the prosecutor's closing statements, he explained the accent to us. Heifer is from Connecticut. Ma'am, why you sound like an old Italian woman if you're from Connecticut? I live in North Jersey. I know where Connecticut is. I've been to Connecticut many times. You know what they don't talk like in Connecticut? Like old Italian ladies. They talk like me and you. Probably more like me than you, unless you're from North Jersey. But they have that northeastern accent. She's just like she don't understand English. Ma'am. Anyway, so she's going to her forever home. They're sentencing her on May 23rd or something like that. Sometime in May, she's going to find out her sentence. But she sat there stone faced in her wheelchair. She was mad. Ooh, she was big mad. So good luck, Bev. Her daughter. She has a couple of daughters. One daughter helped her with the crime. Okay, that daughter already sentenced to life in prison. There was a boyfriend, the daughter's boyfriend, who was an accomplice, who we called Hollywood Jesus because he looked like Hollywood Jesus. He's getting out of 15 years. Well, now probably 14 years. He's getting out of prison relatively soon. The rest of these evil ladies, prison, where they belong. Also, yesterday, Alec Murdaugh was sentenced for his financial crimes in federal prison. Here's the thing. Alex had a plea deal that would let him do like 25 years or something. I don't know, a relatively short period of time. And he stole like $10 million. Okay, cool. But part of the thing was he had to pass a lie detector test. Now listen, Alex Murdaugh does nothing but lie. All he does is lie. So how he thought he was going to pass a lie detector test, child, I will never know. So they gave him the lie detector test and he flunked it. And he was like, what? Me? Just because I am an unaliver and an admitted thief, I can't believe, oh my goodness, I can't believe, obviously, it was rigged and obviously, oops. So I would like to, can I go to federal prison, please? Because they have a better commissary list. And I saw like the commissary list for the federal prison. Child, it was fancy. You could get all kinds of like nice cheeses. I don't think there was wine, but they had ingredients so you can make yourself a nice toilet wine to pair with the charcuterie that you were going to make from all the cheeses and the meats and everything that you could get from that good commissary. Now, let's be clear. In my opinion, there's no such thing as a good prison commissary. There's no such thing as a good prison commissary. Because you know what I don't want? Prison commissary of any variety. Not at all. Thank you so much. But no. But apparently the federal commissary is better than state commissary. Okay. Well, Alex got sentenced to 40 years because he lied on his lie detector test, which, yeah. That tracks. So he's got to be in state prison basically for the rest of his life. But for those who haven't been following the case, first of all, there's an Alex Murdaugh playlist. But also, he was sentenced to 2 life sentences on the murders that he committed when he unfortunately unalived his wife and his son. So how did he think this was going to go down? Sir, no matter how you slice it, you're in prison for the rest of your life. Where you belong. I think he blends. Now, does he want to be out here in these streets with me and you? Yes, of course. He had the like, oh, I'm sorry. He also had the oops defense. It was, oops, I failed the lie detector. Oops, you caught me in a lie. Oh, no. The thing that he lied about on the lie detector test, because keep in mind, he confessed to all the financial crimes. What the feds wanted to know is who else helped you. He was like, nope, it was just me. They're like, lie detector says, bye, please. So, he did not turn over any of his co-conspirators. I want to know who it was. Was it Ronnie Crosby, your friend, your BFF, that testified at your trial? Was it Ronnie? Was it, we know it was Russell Lafitte. It was other people helping Alex Murdaugh. I want to know who all those people were, mostly because I'm nosy and I would like to be in your business, please. And thank you. Chad Daybell we have jury selection going on in the state of, child, listen, Chad Daybell is in Montana, Idaho, Iowa, Utah, one of them states over there. One of them states that like I could find on a map if pressed, but also maybe not. Idaho, over there. It's over there in Big Sky country. I'm not sure which country has a big sky. I mean, which state has a big child. Anyway, Chad Daybell partnered up. He's a maniac. But he's like a mild-mannered looking maniac, right? At first look, you're like, oh, who is this doughy bastard? Oh, he's a cult leader? Okay, who's following him? I do not understand. I don't get it. But you know what? I'm not overly compliant really in any part of my life. So why somebody would want to follow Chad Daybell is just beyond me. I do not get it. But so cults are not really my thing, but Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell got together and they started themselves a cult, and then they decided to just sort of unalive all the people that were in their way. She was like, well, I'm married. My husband, he's in my way. He got to go. So they shuffled him off this mortal coil. And then he was like, yeah, my wife, she's in my way. They shuffled her off this mortal coil. They sent them to the Endless Heaven Buffet. Now, I know y'all know about the Endless Heaven Buffet because I have talked about it before. The Endless Heaven Buffet is when you are no longer on this mortal coil. You arrive in the hereafter where there is a glorious buffet of all your favorite foods and you can eat as much as you want and they never run out and you never get fat. That is my version of heaven. Now, listen, what you believe happens in heaven is your business, has nothing to do with me. But what I'm saying to you is that I wonder if Chad Daybell's wife and Lori Vallow's husband are they sharing a table at the Endless Heaven Buffet, and then Lori and Chad send her kids over to the buffet as well. Terrible terrible. So Lori has been convicted of sending her children to the buffet and helping send Chad's wife over to the buffet. Chad is on trial for sending his wife to the buffet and helping Lori's kid. Child, I don't know how that works. They all gonna get convicted. Let me tell you right now. I have not seen the case. They are in jury selection. I have not even seen opening statements, but I've read all the research, and by research I mean I just clicked around on YouTube and watched some other people talk about it, and I'm convinced that they're guilty. Now, I understand that the state of wherever they are has to prove that they're guilty. I will wait. I have patience. It has been 4 years since these murders were discovered, and more will be revealed in this case. And yes, we will be covering this case, even if it's boring, which, I hope it's not. We've had a lot of boring cases lately. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have to get the highlights on that one. I can't be watching every day because, I don't have that kind of free time. Anyway, new case alert. The Apple River attacks. Now, first of all, I never heard of the Apple River till yesterday. But these attacks? Oh my God. So this is what happened. A bunch of people are tubing down the river like last summer, a year and a half ago, on a nice summer day, right? And I'm like, tubing, that's the one that doesn't require a lot of exercise? Yes, please. That is an outdoor activity I could get with. You lay on the inner tube and you float down the lazy river like at Great Wolf Lodge? Okay, I could get some of that Great Wolf Lodge action. No problem whatsoever. Only they probably don't have like a swim up bar and stuff at this tubing situation because it was actually out in an actual natural river. How come rivers don't have bars? Anyway, so everybody was tubing, having a great day. Little problem, they must have had bars because everybody was drunk. Everybody in this story was drunk. So, I remember everybody's name because this is my first day covering this case. Nikolai, the accused, the murderer, was drunk. I mean, I'm not saying he was drunk. Oh, there's something in my eye. I don't know that he was really, really drunk. He was behaving like a drunk person. I'll give you that much. So Nikolai's floating down the river. All these teenagers are floating down the river. And somebody dropped their phone. One of the friends in Nikolai's party drops their phone. And so he's like, oh, I'll go get it. He had his snorkel gear and he put it in his mouth like that. And he's like, where is this phone? So he's holding on to the snorkel gear in his mouth, and he's sort of splashing around in the river looking for this phone. And he walks up to a whole bunch of teenagers who were hanging out, being loudmouths, being idiots, like teenagers are wont to do, floating in their tubes. And he's looking around, and he's like, where's the phone? Where's the phone? Where's the phone? Well, now, teenagers, everybody got their iPhone out. They're recording him. They're recording his every move. And so he said something along the lines of, where's the phone? Or I can't find the phone. He said something, but because he had this thing in his mouth, it was hard to understand what he was saying. One of the kids thought he said something about where are the kids or where are the girls or are there little girls or something. And so they were like, watch out for that dude. He's a Pedialyte, a kitty diddler. And so they started going, oh no, get away from here. Go away, sir. Get away from here. And he's like, leave me alone. I'm just minding my business. Meanwhile, the thing he had in his mouth falls out of his mouth, but he keeps looking for the phone and he's pushing the kids' inner tubes and harassing these kids. The kids, being teenage boys, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, and drunk, are yelling back. So like a little yelling altercation takes place. And then Nikolai gets up in one of these kids' faces and teenagers, Jesus, push Nikolai. Nikolai falls. Now the water is very shallow. Nikolai falls on his butt, but now he's drunk. And he's mad, and kids are video recording it, and he comes back up, and so there's a little bit of pushing and shoving back and forth. Nikolai reaches into his pocket and pulls out a big old knife and sets to swinging and stabbing people. He stabbed 5 different people. It was a big old knife, seriously injuring most of them, and unaliving one of them. He stabbed this one kid so hard that it punctured organs or whatever. And the poor young man, 17 years old, died there in the water. And so Nikolai then walks up the river a little bit, tosses the knife, and then goes back to his friends. And he's like, yeah, I don't know why those kids attacked me. Here's the thing, sir. Nikolai, you probably don't record every waking moment of your life on your phone for Snapchat or whatever. Those kids, though, that's a way of life for them. So they have this entire attack that only took 3.5 minutes on their phone. In 3.5 minutes, this man stabbed 5 people, punched a lady in the face, and killed one guy. And so the kids are like, then Nikolai goes and floats on down the river with his friends. He's like, I don't know what's wrong with those kids. All the people call 911. All the people from around call 911. The emergency help comes. And they're like, oh my goodness, how will we ever find this guy? Meanwhile, Nikolai floats to the end of the like floating course, changes his clothes, puts on pants, a long shirt, a hat, sunglasses, and walks away and starts to clean. He's like, I'm gonna blend. I know I unfortunately unalived a couple of people, but I'm just gonna try and blend in and get out of here. Where the kids are like, oh, you wanna know what the bad guy looked like? Hey, let me just run this video back. Here's a picture of him right there. They had his face. They had the whole crime on videotape. Sir, every move is on videotape because kids. So the cops are like, you, sir? You look like the dude who did the crime. And he was like, what, me? What happened? So they bring him in and they ask him questions. They didn't tell him they had videotape. They were like, sir, just tell us your side of the story. He was like, he was kicking it old school. He thought, oh, I could go in here and tell a lie that's like in the neighborhood of the truth. And who are the police going to believe? Me, a humble citizen, or those rowdy kids who were not supposed to be drinking anyway. So he was like, I was looking for my phone and the kids snatched this thing out of my mouth and they attacked me and I had to defend myself by punching them. One of them had a knife, pulled a knife on me. So I got the knife away from the kid and I just started swinging it willy-nilly. And I think somebody might have got a paper cut. And the cops were like, right. Dude, here's the thing. Teenagers record every single thing. And so we have a full videotape. And he was like, maybe I need a lawyer. And they're like, yeah, you're going to need a lawyer because we have this entire crime on video. Oh, okay, cool. So even after they showed him the video, his lawyer stood up and was like, now see, you think what you saw was a crime. Let me explain to you why your eyes are lying to you. Because you see, one of the kids had a mean look on his face and one of the kids pushed him in the water and the water was very, very deep. You didn't have a measuring stick to measure it. Sir, they're scientists. You know, scientists have very, very fancy tools like yardsticks. And they can measure that the water where your client fell was less than a foot deep. So him almost drowning, it's going to be a no, sir. And so the defense attorney was like, he was in terror for his life. And there was a knife. We're not sure where it came from. Sir, can we cut to the videotape where we see the man take the knife out of his pocket and brandish it and then walk up and throw it away? Sir, why is this going to trial? Why? Defense attorney, I hope you got prepaid. Is this prepaid legal? Did you get your money up front? Because your client is going down. Sir, there's a videotape of this crime. So I think this case is going to be fairly quick. Those Apple River attacks over there in Wisconsin, Nikolai, boo-boo. You going to prison where I believe you will blend. Although I sincerely hope not. I sincerely hope you keep the it wasn't me bad attitude. I just randomly attack some people attitude. When you go to prison, because your new friends over there in prison, they're going to let you know. They're going to help you understand how everything works in the state of Wisconsin prison system. And good luck to you, sir. Listen. There are more trials coming. We will cover them right here every single morning. Ciao. Get your cup of coffee, like this video, subscribe to the channel. You have yourself a fantastic day. Bye-bye.